Will City's Etihad Stadium expansion resolve all the boiling complaints from fans? Well, it's more than just a million-dollar question. And that's because beneath the silverware and sold-out matches lie a growing tension between tradition and transformation for one of the biggest names in the world of football today. Now, were you a fan who tried buying a matchday ticket for the Etihad lately? Then you'd know how you would have had better luck with a scratch card. Even as City's capacity has gone up over the years by nearly 9,000 seats, actual access for regular fans hasn't. In fact, there are fewer season ticket holders now than there were 6 years ago. Yup, it's a paradox. The more the stadium grows, the harder it gets for loyal fans to get in. And that's where this $300 million expansion comes crashing into controversy. But before getting into that, we have to go back to the core of City's backstory. From underdog to overlord. It's wild to think about how far Manchester City has come. There was a time before the old money, before domination, when City was the noisy neighbors. A club that lived in United's shadow. Back then, Old Trafford was the throne room, the theater of dreams, a fortress of legacy and lore. United ruled the city, the league, and the world. And City, it was grinding out on the main road, dreaming of relevance. That all changed in 2003 when City moved into the Etihad Stadium, initially built for the 2002 Commonwealth Games. It was a sleek, modern, and symbolic of a shift in fortune. Fast forward to today, and Manchester City are no longer underdogs. They're the machine, relentless, ruthless, unstoppable. The Etihad has become a monument to their rise, and now with this mega expansion, it's becoming something else entirely, an empire. A stadium or a statement. So what's in this $300 million makeover? Let's start with the basics. The North Stand is getting a brand new upper tier, pushing capacity from 54,400 to over 62,000. That will make the Etihad the largest club stadium in England, beating Old Trafford. Coincidence? Not even close. City Square will be a 3,000 capacity fan zone with food, drinks, concerts, and year-round events. A 400-room hotel with a rooftop bar, a museum, a club shop that feels more like an Apple store, a rooftop skywalk so fans can literally walk about the game. If that doesn't make United fans cry and Arsenal fans jealous, hit like, subscribe, and tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. City's X call it a best-in-class fan experience and year-round entertainment destination, promising 2,600 new jobs with locals supposedly getting first dibs. But who benefits when matchday becomes a commercialized theme park? Is this really for Manchester or for the club's global stock? Where does the game and its soul fit in all of this? Construction kicks off in November, with the North Stand scheduled to be open during the 2025-26 season. But let's get real. The expansion is more about City proving that they don't just win on the pitch, they own the future of football. Dominating over United is another score for them. They're calling it a next-generation fan experience. But here's a better name: the Premier League's most expensive distraction. But while City X parade the renderings like golden tickets, many fans aren't so easily sold. Old rivalries, new front lines. Let's talk about the unspoken tension we all know is simmering beneath all this. The Manchester rivalry. City versus United. Manchester United's Old Trafford is a place full of history. It's old school, made of bricks and memories. There's no rooftop walk or five-star hotel, but there's tradition, and for many, that's priceless. Still, in today's football world, history doesn't always get you headlines. Shiny things do. Big businesses does. And that's why City's expansion is starting to feel less like an upgrade and more like a power grab. For United fans, it feels like City are trying to take over the spotlight. For City fans, it's a long time coming. But this isn't just about red or blue anymore. It's about the old versus new. It's about old versus new, familiar versus flashy. And even some diehard City fans are now wondering if the club is trading its roots for something that doesn't feel like home anymore. A community displaced? On paper, the Etihad expansion is a community project. Thousands of jobs, economic revitalization, partnerships with local schools, public access space. Sounds amazing, right? Only it's not that simple. East Manchester isn't Mayfair. It's long been one of the city's most overlooked areas. The stadium project promises regeneration, but gentrification often hides behind that word. Rising rents, luxury apartments, corporate intrusion. This question isn't whether the area will change, it's who gets left behind when it does. And fans, well, they are caught in the middle. Construction means displacement, higher ticket prices. Premium seating is taking precedence. For many long-term North Stand season ticket holders, this isn't progress. It's an eviction notice. The message is clear: make way for the money, and more fans are worried that the situation will only get worse next season. They believe that most of the new seats will go to corporate hospitality rather than the average supporter. For those already priced out, this feels less like progress and more like being pushed further to the margins. Sustainability or PR? City's leadership advertises its commitment to sustainability. Public transport incentives, reduced car parking, eco-friendly materials, net zero emission targets. It's all wrapped in green rhetoric. Is this genuine concern for the planet or just strategic optics? Yes, fans are being encouraged to take trams and bikes. Yes, construction will supposedly minimize environmental harm. But this is a club currently spending hundreds of millions not just in concrete, but also on players, while under the microscope for 115 alleged breaches of financial fair play rules. But you can't brag about cutting carbon while your financial practices raise regulatory alarms. You don't get credit for planting trees while you're under investigation for cooking the books. The FFP elephant in the room. Let's not pretend this project exists in a vacuum. The Etihad expansion is unfolding while Manchester City faces the biggest legal crisis in Premier League history. Those 115 charges for financial fair play violations, well, still hanging. Still unresolved, from false financial declarations to dubious sponsorship valuations, the accusations are heavy, and if proven true, the punishment could be devastating: fines, points deductions, and even relegation. So why expand now? Because it's a message. One was written in steel beams and LED lights. City isn't sweating. They're not waiting for the verdict. They're doubling down, building bigger, spending more, acting like nothing's wrong. Some see that as confidence. Others call it arrogance, with a neon sign saying, "We're too big to be bothered." Speaking of big, there's this juicy Etihad Airways deal. $642 million over 10 years. A sponsorship deal so close to City's owners, they're practically signed in the same room. Now, technically, the Premier League just eased up on rules about associated party transactions. So yeah, it's legal, but let's not confuse legal with clean. Because if your owner's company is paying your club, that's revenue. Or is that just a fancier way to move money around? City swears they're just doing what everyone else does. Loans, sponsorships, creative financing. Maybe, but doing it bigger, louder, and harder doesn't make it right. Critics say it's a loophole, the size of the stadium itself, used to inflate revenue on paper. An independent tribunal recently relaxed rules on related party sponsorships, giving clubs like City more leeway. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. Can the Etihad handle its own hype? The expansion is massive, but is it manageable? Adding 8,000 seats is a logistical nightmare. Crowd control, security, amenities, and all of it has to scale up. Match days already test the limits of the stadium's infrastructure. Just ask anyone who was there for the legendary 2012 game against QPR. You know, the one, a Euro. The chaos, the ecstasy, the sheer pressure on the stadium to contain it all. Now imagine 1,000 more fans, more moving parts, more risk. Can City pull it off without compromising the matchday experience? Or will the tech glam stadium become a sterile, overbuilt mess? We'll let time decide. Fans frustrated and forgotten. And yet, once again, let's circle back to those fans, because under the attractive promotional videos, some very real people are pissed. Long-time season ticket holders in the North Stand. Many are being pushed out, physically and financially. Seat relocations, price hikes, premium sections replacing working-class routes. That day Brun exit was different, not out of spite, but symbolism. It's like watching the last thread of Old City quietly snap. The game's still there, but the soul, it's being swapped for VIP lounges and immersive experiences. And if you can't afford the vibe shift, tough luck, there's always League 2 on a budget. The verdict? Will the Etihad expansion solve cities' problems or ease fans' frustrations? Unlikely. It may boost jobs and tourism, but it won't bring back prized-out fans or rebuild trust under 115 charges. This isn't just football. It's a battle for identity, power, and control. Flashy upgrades can't cover the growing disconnect with City's core supporters. And in chasing the future, Manchester City might just forget the people who made them matter in the first place. So what is the Etihad becoming? A monument to Manchester's ambition or a mausoleum for what football used to be? The answer depends on who you ask. Like and share if you're not afraid of the backlash, and if you think City's drama is messy, wait till you see the chaos surrounding LA's outrageous $2 billion NBA arena. Hit subscribe unless you're scared of the truth.